I get you. More than you know. I am right there with you. You have to accept the fact that you will outgrow some of your closest friends. And that's unfortunately a normal part of life. Your fear is not unfounded. It is right to be protective of your heart. But before we get into that, if you're watching on Spotify, go ahead and follow the show and drop a rating. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And if you're on Facebook, make sure to follow my page, Joyce Pring, for updates and extra content. All right, let's get into it. Hello and welcome to another episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring. And we are going to be answering a few questions here today from our community. Let's start off with this first one, which is, how about outgrowing a friendship? Sabi niya. Like, it was okay before, but suddenly now it feels like our values and level of maturity don't align anymore. Parang I'm done with the fun phase and I'm focused on my career now. I can feel like they're silently competing with my achievements or not happy about it, and everything just feels so transactional. I'm also starting to pick up their toxic habits, like gossiping. I don't really want to cut ties, but I don't feel inspired and productive when with them. Ooh, that's a really good one. Okay. First rule of friendship. You have to accept the fact that you will outgrow some of your closest friends. That may be due to a change of values, due to a change of life seasons, and due to even a change of area, biglang lumayo ka lang talaga sa kanila, di ba? Lumayo ka ng lugar kung saan ka nakatira. Or just general life changes. And that's unfortunately a normal part of life. I think I've addressed a similar question to this a few months ago, where I talked about how this is such a natural experience for adults especially, but it is so jarring, especially if the people that you're friends with are talagang matagal mo nang kilala, best friend mo nung high school, talagang chummy talaga kayo, ninang siya ng anak mo or something like that. Tapos biglang, all of a sudden, you find yourself like, teka, parang hindi na to okay, ah. And, you know, okay, so I feel like I can give really good context to this because my best friend, who I often talk about here on the podcast, she knows it, Faith, we've been best friends since we were 9 and 10. So she's a year older than me. I met her when I was in grade school, and she's still my best friend now. But, you know, me and Faith, we don't see each other every week, not even every month. We're so busy na minsan magkikita lang kami pag merong may birthday, pag may something, di ba, nataon na nasa Manila kami. But you know why we've been friends for a really long period of time? It's because we share pretty much the same values. Parehas kami ng worldview, ng pananaw sa mundo, yung basic foundational things we agree on. We're both Christians. We're both in our own faith journeys. Nung nagbubulakbol siya, nagbubulakbol din ako. Nung bumalik siya kay Lord, bumalik din ako kay Lord. So, parang nasabayan talaga namin yung mga seasons of life ng bawat na tao. Pero ngayon, magkaiba kami ng season of life. Bakit? Nasa girl boss era si Faith. Sobrang busy niya sa work. Ang dami niyang mga ginagawang travel, ang dami niyang ginagawang events, mga shoots, etc. And I am at home most of the time. I'm with my children, and I live a good hour and a half from where she lives. But you know why we're still best friends? Meron kami niyang random touch base. Magre-reply yan sa IG story ko, nice, ganun, touch base. Sabi ko, oo nga hehe, ganun, touch base. Or magme-message siya sa akin bigla, out of nowhere, like, oh, musta? Touch base, ganun lang. Or may message ko siya, oh, saan ka? Touch base. So, like kami nag-effort to kind of, you know, say like, hey, I know you're busy, but every few days or so, may magsisend ng meme, may magsisend ng message, may mga ngamusta, alam mo yun? Tapos, we also make an effort to see each other. So, if I'm going to QC, she's one of the first people that I will message. Like, oy, magka-QC ako bukas. Luluwas ako ng Maynila. Baka gusto mo magkita kung available ka. Or, Gusto nyo bang bumisita dito sa bahay? There's always an invitation and an effort to see each other. It doesn't always work, and we never give each other crap for it. Like, if you are too busy to see me, that is good. It's good that you're busy with your life. I support you, I encourage you, I love you. Go fly. So that's what a healthy adult friendship looks like. Or I have a friend, Kara. You should listen to her podcast. She's amazing. Kara Erigel. And so one of the things that we talked about is we would see each other literally like maybe once a year. And it's because she lives in Mati and I live here in near Manila. And ang joke time namin palagi ay parang every once in a while we'll have a really long phone call or a really long text message, and then we never talk again unless there's like a birthday or something comes up. And we were just talking about this recently, a few weeks ago, we had a phone call. So I was really going through something difficult and I texted her about it. And then she immediately called me and she's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you told me this. How are you? Etc., etc., etc. And we don't see each other often, but there's just like that mutual understanding of, I love you. I'm here for you. If there's anything, you can always call me. You can always message me. And that goes for many, many, many of the adult friendships that I have and I hold. So that's how I know that we've not outgrown the friendship yet. Kasi andun kami. Hindi tayo araw-araw mag-uusap. Maybe we talk to each other once every few months. We see each other once a year. But there's like that mutual respect, mutual encouragement, mutual love for each other na when we see each other, parang walang nagbago. Ganon. Now, how do you know when you've outgrown a friendship? Yun nga, kapag feeling mo talaga, teka, medyo toxic na to parang hindi na maganda yung values, hindi na maganda yung trajectory ng buhay natin kasi pag nakikita tayo, nagchichismisan lang tayo katulad ng sinabi nyo dito, di ba? Or 'di ba? Gusto lang nila makipagkita pag magiinuman, pagkakain sa labas or whatever. Pero ikaw nandoon ka na sa face na I want a quieter life. Okay lang yun eh. If like they want to, I want to go party. Sige, they'll party with their friends. But they also make an effort to, we'll come and visit you. Let's have dinner. So, I think that's what separates a friendship that you've outgrown from a friendship that still is growing. If you both make an effort to still be in each other's life, no matter the season of life that you're in, no matter how different, no matter how busy, but you make it a point na let's find our common ground and make this friendship work. And it's not so hard to do that. Like, hindi ka moving heaven and earth to do that. I think you can still work on the friendship. Pero kung kikitain ka lang nila pag sumama ka sa good time, pero ayaw mo naman nun. Kikitain ka lang nila kapag umeffort kang pumunta, kahit na may bit-bit ka ng baby. Kikitain ka lang nila kapag umeffort ka na pumunta sa party, pero di ba meron kang office the next day ng 7 a.m., then maybe that's when you know that you've outgrown the friendship. And when other people are doing things that you don't like, I remember starkly losing a very close friend of mine because nagkaroon kami ng difference in like lifestyle. Sabi ko, pag ginawa mo yan, hindi na tayo pwede maging friends kasi hindi ko kaya magkaroon ng friend na ganyan. And it was something that was very harmful to her, harmful to her body, harmful, just like a harmful habit in general. And I told her, I love you, but you have to stop doing that. Ilang beses ko na siya sinabihan, please don't do that, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want you to go down that path because it leads to destruction. And if you want to go down that path, I don't think I can be friends with you anymore. Binigyan ko siya ng multiple chances and I asked her, like, I told her, I gave her my case, why I don't like it, why I don't want you to do that, ganyan. And she kept doing it. So the friendship faded and we don't talk to each other anymore. It wasn't like, we have no hard feelings. I saw her recently. I saw her a few years ago after this falling out that we had. And, we said hi to each other. It's like, oh, good to see you. Ganun lang. And then we separated. And I think that's when you know that the friendship is you've outgrown that friendship. Na talagang it goes against your values na, and hindi mo siya magagawa ng paraan. Yung gossiping kasi magagawa mo pa ng paraan eh. I've done that before. When I hear people gossiping, I'm like, okay, wag na natin pag-usapan yan. Ayaw natin ng negative. Ganun lang. Like, hindi naman siya parang preachy. Funny lang. Like, okay, sasakit lang yung ulo natin dyan. Let's move on. Alam mo ba, meron akong binasang something recently. So, you can always change that topic. My rule in life is always, if you can be in good terms, biblical, as long as it is up to you, be at peace with everyone. That's my general rule. You don't have to be friends with everyone, but be at peace with everyone. So that would be my advice. And you're right. If you don't want to cut ties with them, you don't have to. Be at peace with everyone. You know, if they will make an effort, you will see them. Diba? If you make an effort, you will see them. But there are adjustments that need to be had, diba? So, stop gossiping. Talk about, okay, I can't do partying. Di ko kaya yan. Kaya mo bang mag-dinner or breakfast? Like, kung mag-e-effort ka, dapat nag-e-effort din sila. So, that would be my advice for you. Next, Elson asks, maybe a podcast on the fear of vulnerability and how to rise above it, a podcast on overcoming shame. I feel like I need to create an entire episode on this, but just to answer this question specifically right now, I see you and I understand where you're coming from as somebody who also finds it hard to be vulnerable to people. I have a friend in my life where parang recently ko lang na-realize na parang ngayon lang ako talagang naging vulnerable sa kanya. 4 years na kami magkaibigan. I've known this person in church for a really long time. But, you know, it's hard to open up to people. And I think that kind of vulnerability is valid, especially if you have experiences in the past where you were betrayed or hurt or traumatized by someone that you trusted. Now, to rise above that, you have to first, the most important thing is to really anchor yourself in God. Remember that everything works out for good for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. So, if you believe that everything works together for good, then you also have to believe that God will put you in the proper or in good circles of friends, right? So, pray for godly, good, loving, encouraging friends. Yun talaga yun. Kailangan yung values nyo parehas eh. Pangalawa, i-observe mo yung character ng taong yun. The reason why you're not being vulnerable is because meron kang fear, right? So how do you stand above that fear and that shame that you may feel? Well, observe the character. Don't just open up to anybody. Don't just be vulnerable to anybody. That is wise to not do that, right? But if you're going to be vulnerable to people, make sure that your values align. Second, and that you've observed their character. Do you see that this person doesn't talk bad about other people? Do you see that this person doesn't divulge the secrets of their other friends, diba? Can you see that the life that this person is leading is a life that is filled with somehow wisdom, diba? With charity, with integrity. Kasi pag inobserve mo yung buhay ng tao, dun mo malalaman na parang, okay to, I can be vulnerable with this person because this seems like a person. I've observed that this is the kind of person that I can be vulnerable with. So I'm saying that your fear is not unfounded. It is right to be protective of your heart. So those are I feel like two things that you can really look at. Pares ba kami ng values? Okay ba yung character ng tao na to? And every time you feel like you can't open up, yun yung tignan mo. Pero parehas naman kami ng values eh. This person has proven to be a good person, to be a person of integrity and character. And maybe another question that you can ask yourself is, why do I need to be vulnerable to this person? Is this someone who is gonna help me in this situation? Is this someone that needs to know the situation, diba? Or is this just something that I can process with the Lord or with, a person that I trust more? So, yung trustworthiness talaga ng tao, yung kailangan mong tignan muna. And then the vulnerability, it just takes a lot of practice. It's really that. It takes a lot of practice, and start small. You don't have to dive deep into your darkest secrets or like the most vulnerable parts of who you are. Just start opening up small. Maybe you can practice opening up about, oh, I'm recently listening to this kind of music or this podcaster, and see how they react. Like, are they judgy or are they supportive and curious? Tapos you can see now, you can move on from that. I'm dating this person. Are they judgy or are they supportive and curious? Every girl has a dream: to go to school, to be heard, to grow up free from fear. But for many Filipino girls, these dreams are out of reach. They face the harsh realities of early marriage, dropping out of school, and being silenced by poverty and inequality. But it doesn't have to stay this way. With your support, a girl can find her voice and speak up. She can learn, she can lead and rise, strong and fearless. She can say no to the things that hold her back and yes to the life that she truly deserves. We ask you to please join the movement to raise your voice for a girl and walk alongside her on her journey to empowerment. Sponsor a girl by October 11, International Day of the Girl, and be the reason she says, yes, I can, because girls can. Visit worldvision.org.ph to learn more. Okay, last question. Si Jessica, sabi niya, "Hi po, late na ata ako sa tropahan na to." You're not late, Jessica. Welcome. I love watching your podcast. Hoping din po magkaroon kayo ng topic on how to deal with a Christian parent or guardian na hypocrite at hindi nakaka-uplift ng spirit. Should we just ignore or when to speak up? Everyday challenging kasi, and I always ask God to make her understand her flaws. Dumating kasi sa point na may nasira na siyang relationships and she thought there's nothing wrong with it. She's 71 na, by the way. Kaya ang hirap torn ako if I'll let go or should I tell her? Hindi din siya open sa confrontation. Kaloka, sabi niya. I'm concerned as well for her as a true believer of God. Okay. I get you. More than you know. I am right there with you. How do you deal with an older person who is a parental figure in your life that claims to be a Christian but is not being Christ-like? You're right. The first thing that you should be doing is to be praying to God for this person, right? But the next biblical thing that you can do is to really confront them. But confrontation sounds bad, but it's really just opening up. It's really just sitting down and saying, okay, let's say ito yung sinabi mo, diba? Nakasira na siya ng relationship. It is saying na, Lola, alam niyo ba po na talagang nagkaroon ng problem dahil dito sa ginawa niyo? At gamitin mo yung Bible, di ba? One of my spiritual mentors always say, you hide behind the Bible. Meaning, alamin mo, what is the biblical stance on this situation and use it to explain why it's wrong. Hindi siya personal attack. Hindi masama kang tao, sinira mo tong relationship na to. It's hindi po tama na magsalita tayo ng ganito. Hindi po tama. So, it's respectful and kind, but it's firm. What you did was wrong, and this is the reason why it's wrong. Biblically, socially, culturally, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, diba? So, have that, diba? Parang have a case for the way that your explanation for this reason. Now, if they're not open to that, the biblical thing to do next is to bring another person that they trust, right? So it could be the spouse, it could be the church leader, or whatever, diba? Someone that they trust, someone that they also respect. Kasi minsan, ganun nga, parang hindi makikinig kasi bata ka eh. So kung nakaharap ka ng isang confidant na respetado din ng taong to, baka mas makinig sila. So it's finding that person that could help you talk to this 71-year-old woman in your life, right? Now, kung ayaw talaga, hindi talaga makikinig, hindi niya talaga makita na may mali siyang ginagawa. For me, the most biblical, or what I have done is, in my personal life, is to really draw a solid boundary draw space between me and this person, and then just pray for them. You know, like maybe I would write a letter as a final thing. Bahala na sila kung babasahin nila. In my case, I talked to this person and I was like, okay, you have caused this pain, you have caused this much drama, you have caused whatever. I don't want to deal with you anymore. And then following that, hindi na involved tong tao na to sa buhay ko on a regular schedule. Ano na lang siya, parang kung merong special thing, out of respect, I will extend an invitation. Kung may special thing, out of respect, I will, greet. But there's a clear, you're not an active participant in my life anymore. And I will just pray. I still pray for this person. I still pray that God will really truly just reveal himself to this person and that the Lord will really truly transform this person. But I've tried everything in my power to confront, to bring to church, to talk, to everything, to counsel, to help. Lahat na ginawa ko, pero wala eh. Ganun talaga siya eh. Toxic talaga siya. So, kinailangan mo na talagang i-separate yung sarili mo. And, separating yourself and drawing a boundary does not mean cutting somebody off. It just means that you are keeping the peace between you and this person while at the same time making sure that they no longer have power over you. And I went to counseling for it. Talagang hirap na hirap talaga ako. Iniyak ko siya, pinag-pray ko siya. Hirap na hirap talaga ako. Pero yun yung napagtanto namin ng counselor ko na, alam mo, wala talaga siyang pake sa'yo eh. At saka nagkukos lang siya ng havoc. So, kailangan mo talagang maging intentional about drawing a boundary so that this person cannot actively participate in your life anymore and manipulate and hurt and cause drama. That doesn't mean that you cut them off. If you want, you can still, invite them. Meron pa nga tinuro sa akin yung counselor ko don't invite them to your house. Invite them to a restaurant, diba? Don't invite them to come to your children's birthday party. Invite them for a separate lunch. And that really helped me na, wow, this person can still be honored and involved in my life, but they don't necessarily have power over me anymore. Kasi nga, hindi sila nakaka-uplift ng spirit, to your point. So, yun eh. But that was really something that I had to process with God. I had to process with my counselor. I had to pray about. I had to, really think about. And yung sabi sa akin ng counselor ko, who's also a Christian, sabi niya, alam mo Joyce, minsan kasi ang problema sa ating mga Christians, laging turn the other cheek, diba? Tama naman, turn the other cheek. Pero unbiblical na yung nangyayari kasi hindi mo na napaprioritize yung marriage mo at yung children mo. Dahil pinaprioritize mo siya na maging participant siya sa buhay mo, nakakasira na siya nung dapat mong priority, which is your marriage and your children. So if that's the case, then it's no longer biblical, diba? So ikaw, kailangan mong i-figure out yun kasi hindi ko alam kung ano yung extent of this eh. Baka naman kasi, alam mo yun, makulit lang talaga siyang 71-year-old. Girl, kung ganun, samahan mo lang palagi sa church, pagdasal mo, diba? Huwag ka na mag-expect na magbago siya. Kasi minsan pag ganyang katanda na, yun na talaga yung ugali nila eh. And the best that you can do is to be a good witness to them, to journey with them, walk with them, hopefully direct them towards Jesus, encourage them na, Lola, baka gusto mong D-group, merong Zumba mommies doon. Diba? Parang encourage mo na lang sila kung ano yung pwede nilang gawin that you feel like could help them. But don't expect that they will change or be better. Siguro that's such a pessimistic way to look at it. But as somebody who's experienced something so similar to that, it has given me so much peace that it's not my job to change this person. It is not even in my power to change this person. All I can really do is to pray for this person, set healthy boundaries, encourage them and help them towards a better direction, and then leave everything else up to God because it's not my job to make you a better person. All I can do is help, pray, do my best, and not expect anything in return. So I think that's where I was really struggling my entire 20s. I really felt like I could save these people. Madami sila. I really felt like I could save these people in my life. And unfortunately, it had to come to a really, really like big crescendo of wreaking havoc in my personal life. That's when I realized, okay, this is too much. Everything that I've been going through was actually too much, and this needs to stop. So hopefully that's something that you also figure out for yourself. Again, do it with kindness, do it with charity, do it lovingly, but do it also firmly. Knowing that God is in control. Alam mo, hindi mo kailangan i-worry na, saved ba to? Katulad na sinabi mo, I'm concerned as well if she's a true believer of God, because that's really between her and the Lord. And all we can really do is pray for them and to help direct them towards the right direction. Okay, that's it. All right, that's it for my episode. 3 questions, very, very long-winded. But I hope that with all of the side quests that we had on this episode, you were able to get some semblance of clarity, even wisdom, God willing. And it helped you navigate these topics in your life. So thank you for sending in your questions. If you'd like to have your story featured here on the podcast, even if you want to stay anonymous, please do email us at hello@joycepring.com. And we'll see you on the next one. Paalam!